An ordinary Christmas Eve takes a dark turn for the Thompson family when a mysterious stranger knocks on their door during a snowstorm. What begins as an innocent holiday tradition quickly turns into a nightmare. Christmas Eve at the Thompson household was always a joyous affair. Laughter filled the air, the smell of cookies wafted from the oven, and carols played softly in the background. But this year, the storm brought an unexpected visitor. The Thompsons had no idea their cozy celebration would soon be interrupted by something sinister. Then came the knock, a slow, deliberate rapping that sent chills through the room. On the porch stood a figure cloaked in shadows. They said they were lost and seeking shelter. The family hesitated but decided it was the season of giving. They invited the stranger in, unaware of what they had just unleashed. Something about the stranger's presence felt wrong. The festive atmosphere began to dissipate. "Ring this bell," they said, their voice barely a whisper. "It brings luck to those who hear it." The bell's chime was unlike anything they'd ever heard. It resonated deeply, as if the sound carried a warning. As the bell's echo faded, strange things began to happen. The festive lights flickered, and shadows danced on the walls as if alive. The mother gasped as she noticed a family photo vanish before her eyes, replaced by an empty frame. The stranger stood and removed their hood. Their face, if it could be called that, was featureless, smooth as polished marble. Panic set in as they tried to leave, but the door was frozen solid, trapping them inside. Shadows began to whisper, their voices carrying words too fragmented to understand but full of malice. "Heed the bell's warning," the stranger said. "Your fate has already been sealed." The bell rang out again, this time louder and more insistent, drowning out the family's cries. In the flickering light, they saw themselves, ghostly reflections of Christmases past, smiling but unaware of the horror to come. Without a word, the stranger left, vanishing into the storm as mysteriously as they had arrived. The bell shattered, its fragments glowing faintly before fading to darkness. But its warning lingered. Christmas morning brought a strange calm, but a single fragment of the bell remained, a chilling reminder of the night's events. The Thompson family would never forget that Christmas Eve, nor the visitor who brought with them a warning from beyond. On a snow-covered Christmas Eve, the Watson family finds themselves stranded on a desolate road. When a glowing, antique train arrives out of nowhere, they see it as their salvation. But this is no ordinary train ride, it's a one-way ticket to their darkest fears. The Watsons' holiday trip had gone off course. Stranded in the middle of nowhere, their festive cheer turned to desperation as the storm raged on. Just as hope began to fade, they heard it, a whistle cutting through the wind. An old-fashioned train, illuminated like a beacon, approached from the darkness. Relief washed over them as they boarded. The train's plush interior seemed like a miracle. But miracles, as they'd soon learn, come at a cost. The other passengers didn't speak or even move. It was as if they were frozen in time. Their presence unsettling in the otherwise cozy train car. "Welcome aboard," the conductor said, handing them strange tickets. His warning was clear, no matter what you see, do not leave your seats. The train stopped at a station called Memory Lane, but no one got on or off. Outside, shadows seemed to dance on the platform, whispering secrets too chilling to hear. The windows became mirrors to their past. Arguments, regrets, and moments they'd tried to forget played out like haunting reminders. The train filled with an unnatural fog, so dense that even the silent passengers disappeared into it. Only the Watsons remained, their fear mounting. Without warning, the train surged forward, faster than any train should go. The scenery outside blurred into a dizzying mix of light and shadow. In the end, the Watsons were the only ones left. The train hurtled toward a glowing light, their fate as unclear as the journey that brought them there. It was a picture-perfect Christmas Eve. The Johnson family gathered in their cozy living room, the warmth of the fireplace keeping the cold storm at bay. But outside, the snow wasn't the only thing creeping closer. As the family sang carols, an icy chill seeped into the room. At first, they thought it was a draft. But then, Julie noticed the footprints, leading away from their porch into the endless woods. As the clock struck midnight, the shadows on the walls began to move, stretching and twisting unnaturally. Then came the sound of something falling. A toy train tumbled from the mantelpiece, though no one was near. A faint, childlike voice echoed through the house, "Let me in." At first, they thought it was the wind. But when Julie saw the words scrawled across the mirror, the icy grip of fear took hold. Suddenly, the door to the basement began to shake, as though something, or someone, was desperately trying to get in. The locks held, but for how long? Then came the sound of footsteps, soft, deliberate, and slow. But no one was there. The footprints materialized one by one, heading straight for them. They finally saw it, a pale figure staring through the window, its empty eyes boring into their souls. But as soon as they looked away, it was gone. Panicked, the Johnsons fled into the storm. The pale figure followed, its presence felt more than seen. But the storm only grew stronger, as though it were working against them. Hours later, search parties found no trace of the Johnsons, only a fiery, unearthly symbol burned into the snow near their empty home. Whatever took them left no witnesses, only questions. Years have passed, and the house still stands, abandoned and silent. But every Christmas Eve, a pale figure is seen watching from the window, waiting for its next visitors.